you have a tire that leaks, you can usually find that leak by spraying the tire with some soap, or here I'm using Windex, and looking for a spot that bubbles. Then I'm going to mark that spot so that I don't lose it. Then I'm going to take the schrader valve out of the wheel. The inner valve screws out of the valve stem. I showed you the tool I'm going to use. Mine looks like a cap. Actually, you can screw it on as a cap. But you can buy all sorts of different schrader tools at your parts store. There's the valve. Just screws right out of the valve stem. Now all the air will run out of the tire. Then we got to pick whatever's in the tire out. So here I'm digging at it with a screwdriver, seeing what I'm in for. Sometimes you can pry it out with a screwdriver if it's got a head on it, like a screw or a nail. In this case, I'm going to use a pair of needle nose, pull it up a little bit, pry it with the screwdriver to open the hole up. Grab it with some needle nose, pull it up a little bit until I've got it sticking out far enough to grab with pliers. Pull the rest of the way out. Could be a screw, could be a nail, could be all kinds of things. In this case, it's a finishing nail. Looks like a finishing nail. Dan said his neighbors have been working on their windows. He suspects it's out of their driveway. That'll do it. Big ugly nail. So we've got that out. Now we've got to put a plug in. But before we can get the plug in there, we've got to make the hole bigger, believe it or not. And this is a reaming tool that will come with your tire plug kit. Say that 3 times fast. Stick that in the hole, work it back and forth, up and down, to ream that hole out. Make it big enough to get the plug in. Then here's the plugs. They come in cellophane so they don't stick to each other. Peel one of those out. It's like a gooped up piece of rope. And you're going to pinch one end of it so that you can feed it into the eye of the plug insertion tool. Just like threading a big needle. And pull it about halfway through. Now that tool has a slot in the front, so it can push it into the hole, but when you go to pull the tool out, it will separate and go around the plug, leaving the plug in. So now you've got to force that plug in through the hole. We're going to go about halfway or maybe a little more. These leave about 1 inch of the plug sticking out on the outside. Get it all the way in, and then we're just going to pull the tool out. Then I've got to cut the rest off. Apparently I couldn't find my razor blade holder, so don't tell OSHA, but I'm using a raw razor blade. It's in my own garage. Get that excess cut off. We'll put our schrader valve back in. Screws right back in the valve stem. Then all we have to do is air it up and test it. Again, you can test it by just squirting some soapy water or Windex on the hole and make sure it doesn't bubble. This is not hard. You can do this. Get a plug kit, get a schrader tool. Then you can buy refills, because once you learn how to do it, you're going to be doing it for all your friends. Trust me. This is the 5th tire I've done this year. 3 of them for Dan. He needs to check his driveway, huh? All right. Right on.